If you have a trust, do you actually need a trust protector? It's the question most estate planning attorneys never ask. Yet it could be the difference between your trust thriving for generations or becoming a costly nightmare for your family. I recently met with a client whose irrevocable trust, created just 5 years ago by another attorney, would have become a financial disaster after death because of the trust tax provisions. It would have cost his family over $120,000 in unnecessary taxes. All of this could have been avoided with one simple addition to his trust document. Instead, we had to go through a complicated process to create a new trust and then move assets from the old trust to the new trust. Having a trust protector allows a change to a trust tax provision if tax laws change. The truth is, most people create trusts believing they've protected their family's future, but they're missing the crucial safeguard that keeps their trust flexible, relevant, and truly protective as circumstances change. Today, I'm going to reveal exactly what a trust protector is, the extraordinary powers they can hold, and most importantly, whether you actually need one for your specific situation. Let's start with the basics. When you create a trust, there are 3 essential roles that must be filled. The grantor, otherwise known as the trust maker, that's you, the person creating the trust. Then there's the trustee, who manage the trust assets, and the beneficiaries who receive the benefits from the trust. These are the fundamental players in any trust arrangement. A trust protector is different. They're a designated third party who holds specific powers that can affect what the trustee is able to do with trust property. Think of a trust protector as being to a trustee what a corporate board of directors is to a CEO. The trustee handles the day-to-day management, while the trust protector weighs in on critical decisions and provides oversight like a board of directors. It's important to understand that a trust protector is not a trustee, nor do they have a beneficial interest in the trust. They serve a unique role that adds an additional layer of security and flexibility to your trust arrangement. Here's where things get interesting. The primary reason to designate a trust protector is to build flexibility into your trust that allows it to adapt over time. This is especially crucial for irrevocable trusts. Remember, once a trust becomes irrevocable, which typically happens either by design or after your death, changes generally cannot be made to the trust itself. This creates a potential problem. What happens if tax laws change dramatically? What if a beneficiary's circumstances change in ways you couldn't have anticipated? What if there's a defect in the trust that needs to be corrected? Without a trust protector addressing these issues, it would require court intervention, a process that's public, expensive, and time-consuming. A trust protector with the right powers, on the other hand, can make the necessary adjustments without court involvement, saving your beneficiaries significant headaches and expense. Let me share a real-world example. I had a client who created an irrevocable trust for his children back in 2005. The tax laws changed dramatically in 2017, creating potential tax disadvantages for the trust as it was originally written. Because he had wisely included the trust protector with the power to modify administrative provisions, the trust protector was able to update the trust to align with the new tax laws, saving the family tens of thousands in unnecessary taxes without ever stepping foot in a courtroom. The specific powers granted to a trust protector are defined in your trust document, and they can be as broad or limited as you wish. Here are some of the more valuable powers that you might consider giving to your trust protector. First, the power to remove and replace the trustee. This is perhaps the most common and important power. If your trustee develops a conflict of interest, fails to manage your trust assets properly, or simply isn't performing their duties effectively, the trust protector can step in and appoint a new trustee. Second, The power to modify trust terms. This allows the trust protector to correct mistakes in the trust document, clarify ambiguous language, or update the trust to comply with new laws. Third, the power to change how trust assets are distributed. For example, imagine your trust provides that assets will be distributed to your son after he graduates from college and becomes gainfully employed. But what if after college your son decides to join the Peace Corps for 2 years? Technically, he's not gainfully employed as defined in your trust, but you would likely support this decision. A trust protector could modify the distribution terms to accommodate this situation. Fourth, the power to add or remove beneficiaries. This can be crucial if family circumstances change dramatically after your death. Fifth, the power to change the trust governing law or situs. This can be valuable if your beneficiaries move to different states or if another state develops more favorable trust laws. And finally, the power to terminate the trust if it becomes impractical or no longer serves its intended purpose. These powers give your trust the ability to adapt to changing circumstances while still honoring your original intentions, something that's simply not possible with a traditional irrevocable trust arrangement. Beyond flexibility, a trust protector can provide significant tax and asset protection advantages. From a tax perspective, certain powers that might trigger adverse tax consequences if held by a trustee or beneficiary can often be safely held by an independent trust protector. This strategic allocation of powers can help optimize the tax treatment of your trust. For asset protection, a trust protector can serve as an additional safeguard against creditor claims. For example, if a beneficiary who's serving as trustee becomes insolvent, the trust protector could temporarily remove that beneficiary's ability to make distributions, protecting trust assets from the beneficiary's creditors. Another significant benefit is privacy protection. By giving a trust protector certain powers that would otherwise require court proceedings to exercise, you can keep your family's financial matters private rather than having them become part of the public record through court filings. Now, choosing the right person to serve as trust protector is critical given the significant powers they'll hold over your family's wealth. You'll want someone who's trustworthy, financially savvy, and understands your intentions for the trust. Ideally, your trust protector should be someone who would act to protect the trust property and execute the trust purpose in the same manner as what you would. They should be a disinterested third party to avoid any conflicts of interest that might prevent them from fulfilling their role effectively. Many people consider appointing a trusted family friend, perhaps their CPA, an attorney, or a professional fiduciary company to serve as trust protector. The key is finding someone who has both the expertise to make sound financial decisions and the integrity to act in the best interest of your beneficiaries. In many cases, rather than naming a specific person, we allow the estate planning attorney representing the trustee at the time to appoint a trust protector if one is needed. It's generally not advisable to name a beneficiary as trust protector, as this could create conflicts of interest and potentially trigger adverse tax consequences. If the trust protector has the power to direct trust assets to themselves or for their benefit, this power could be treated as a general power of appointment, exposing the protector to gift and estate tax liability. Now, for the question you've been waiting for. Do you actually need a trust protector? Well, the answer, I think, depends on your specific circumstances, but here are some situations where a trust protector is particularly valuable. If you're creating an irrevocable trust that will continue for many years or even generations, a trust protector is almost essential to provide the flexibility needed to adapt to changing circumstances over time. If your trust will hold substantial assets, the additional oversight and protection provided by a trust protector can be well worth the additional complexity. If you're concerned about potential conflicts between trustees and beneficiaries, a trust protector can serve as a neutral third party to mediate disputes and make difficult decisions. If you're creating a trust for beneficiaries who may not be financially sophisticated, a trust protector can provide an additional layer of oversight to ensure the trust is managed properly. On the other hand, for simple revocable trusts that will be distributed outright to beneficiaries shortly after your death, a trust protector may be unnecessary complexity. Now, if you've decided the trust protector makes sense for your situation, there's another critical aspect we need to address. Even families with the right intentions can undermine their entire estate plan with poor implementation. I've seen this happen repeatedly in my practice, where clients add a trust protector but make fundamental errors that create more problems than they solve. Let me highlight some common mistakes people make when incorporating a trust protector into their estate plan. First, failing to clearly define the trust protector's powers. Vague language can lead to confusion and potential litigation. Your trust document should specifically enumerate each power granted to the trust protector. Second, not providing for succession of the trust protector role. What happens if your trust protector dies, becomes incapacitated, or simply doesn't want to serve anymore? Your trust should include provisions for appointing a successor trust protector. Third, appointing the wrong person. As we discussed earlier, the trust protector should be someone who understands your intentions and has the expertise to make sound financial decisions. And finally, not considering the potential tax implications of the powers granted to the trust protector. Certain powers, if not carefully structured, could have unintended tax consequences. A trust protector can be the difference between an estate plan that remains effective for generations and one that becomes outdated, inefficient, or even harmful to your beneficiaries. While not necessary for every trust, for many families, perhaps most families, especially those with substantial assets or complex family situations, a trust protector provides that crucial flexibility and oversight that traditional trust arrangements simply can't offer. As you consider whether your trust needs a protector, remember that the best estate plans are those that can adapt to changing circumstances while still honoring your original intentions. The powers we've discussed today, from removing trustees to modifying trust terms to changing distributions, can help ensure your legacy remains protected no matter what the future holds. Well, now that you understand the key aspects of what a trust protector is, let's dive even deeper into a real-world example. In the next video, estate planning case study, protecting a $3 million estate for future generations, we'll explore the story of Bill and Mary Jones and how they secured their financial legacy. You'll see exactly how strategies like pour-over wills, trusts, and tax planning come together to protect your wealth and your loved ones. Click here to watch it now.